Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If I can please ask you all to please take your seats, and we will begin the awards ceremony in a few moments when people are seated. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name's Kellyanne Mallon. I'm Head of Access, Student Employability, Success and Development, and it's a real pleasure to welcome you all here today for our fantastic Volunteering of the Year Awards ceremony. Today we're here to honour the remarkable volunteering work of our students and alumni, and I'm delighted to see that so many of the nominees are in the audience today alongside their friends and families. Please do feel free to take photographs, to whoop and cheer and shout for your loved ones as they come and take to the stage. We've also welcomed representatives from our partner charities and not-for-profit organisations and colleagues from across the university. You are all really very welcome here today, and thank you for making the effort to join us at this very important celebration. Before we announce the winners, I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage the University of Manchester's President and Vice-Chancellor, Nancy Rothwell, who is here to say a few words.
Thank you, Kellyanne, and welcome everybody, those from within the university and partners from outside, to this important event. It seems timely that we're holding this the day after the Coronation Bank holiday, which was very much about volunteering and welcoming volunteering, but thankfully we're not in the pouring rain. So volunteering is extremely important for many reasons to the university. We have a commitment, a long-standing commitment now, to social responsibility, and that means making a difference to society. And volunteering is a very important part of that. It's part of our culture that our staff, our students, our alumni, our partners contribute to the wider human community. We do this, of course, in many different ways, through our teaching, through our research, but also through volunteering. And I know this means giving up your time, and that's very important to you. But it's also important to the people that you serve to help. We want an undergraduate education in which our students feel challenged and stretched, in which they get different experiences, not just sitting in a classroom or the library or a tutorial, but actually seeing that they can make a difference to society. Part of this is our award, Stellify, which means to change or be changed into a star. And we want all our students to stellify themselves here at the University of Manchester through a range of transformational academic and extracurricular activities. We're also very strongly committed to our city region and our neighbours, many of whom we know are struggling, and your volunteering makes a great deal of difference to them. We've developed a civic university agreement in partnership with the other universities in Greater Manchester, and we also now have a community panel where we listen to our neighbours. What do they want of their university? Because we want them to feel it is their university, not just the university. We know also that volunteering has other benefits. It improves employability and life chances for our students. But it also, I know from speaking to many of you, makes you feel better. We know there is good evidence that volunteering is beneficial to mental well-being. Working in teams, supporting others, feeling the gratitude of those people you have helped. And it's very important to us that we recognise your huge contributions, because they are important to the university, they're important to everybody in this room and everybody in the wider community. So I'm now going to hand over to the presenters to give out the awards and say thank you to everybody, whether you won an award or not. Thank you to those who facilitated the volunteering and helped to support you. And congratulations to the winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. So before we start announcing the winners, I'm just going to cover some details about the judging and nominations for you. So earlier this year, we invited nominations from all groups of our university community. Many nominations were about volunteering that took place here in Manchester and in the UK, but we've also had nominations that have taken place across the globe. We've received so many amazing nominations demonstrating attributes such as exceptional leadership and innovation, and the judging was really very tough for the team. So congratulations to everyone who's been nominated here today. Everyone who's been commended, highly commended and placed will receive a certificate, and first, second and third place nominees will also get a donation for the charity where they actually volunteer. In addition to the Volunteer of the Year awards, the overall winners in the individual categories will receive the University Medal for Social Responsibility, which is part of a suite of prestigious presidential awards given each year for distinguished achievement. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass you to Sam Brownheim, Union Affairs Officer, and Robbie Beale, Activities and Culture Officer, both of the University of Manchester Students' Union, who are going to announce the student groups category.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're really delighted to be here today to celebrate the amazing volunteering that is done by our students, and you should all be really proud of yourselves, not only for the work that you do, but for the recognition that hopefully you'll receive today.
I think we're particularly pleased today to see so many names on this list that we've been in contact with and seen doing wonderful work throughout the year. We're really excited to see you all recognised for your work, and you should all be super proud of yourselves. We're massive fans of volunteering. I think particularly this year, with the increasing cost pressures that all students are facing, volunteering work has become more precious than ever, but also more important than ever. Just this weekend, I've been playing host to my old housemate of 3 years. He's been sleeping on my sofa because through the rest of the year, he is touring the world, working on logistics on harbour sides in the Caribbean, and he's flying off to the Pacific as we speak. He's only doing that because he spent his degree upkeeping rowing boats at the boathouse down on the Bridgewater Canal. And I think that really just goes to show truly how important volunteering is, not just for now, for the impact that you make in the community, but also for future career prospects going forwards.
And as Nancy said, you're not just here to get a degree, but to become the best version of yourselves, whether it's through student groups or volunteering. Everything you do at your time here in Manchester is going to shape you to be whoever you want and to have an impact on the wider world and community.
So thank you very much for having us. We'll get on to the awards. Quick bit of housekeeping. Sometimes groups might not have been able to make it, but we'll still give them a big round of applause when we can. So our first category is for student groups. This recognises groups from 2 people to 200 people strong who work together to make a massive difference in Manchester and beyond. We've got 2 commended groups to recognise, and then we'll also move on to highly commended and then our winners. So, our first commended group run a sustainability low-waste shop on campus that you might have spotted getting the bus to and from university. It's specifically aimed at a student lifestyle and budget in order to provide the best and most affordable access to sustainable living. I don't think they're here to be with us, but if you are, please do come up. But either way, a massive round of applause, please, for Want Not Waste. So our second commended award is for a group of students who support homeless people living on the streets of Manchester, which is a wonderful cause. They aim to make them feel acknowledged and heard whilst providing signposting to long-term support as well. This award goes to Outreach.
So it looks like nobody from Outreach is here, but we can move on to our highly commended groups now. The first group provide a safe space for refugees and asylum seekers to practice their spoken English through friendly and informal conversation in weekly group sessions, working in partnerships with charities across Greater Manchester. So please let's congratulate, if they're here, the Refugee and Asylum Seeker Conversation Club. to have some sore hands by the end of the day, I think. The second highly commended group have hosted 3 outreach events this year for sixth form students from underrepresented backgrounds to improve access into medicine courses by providing tailored support on the application processes. So please give a round of applause for Manchester Outreach Medics.
So the third highly commended group is one that I'm personally really pleased to see on here. They just begun this year. I remember at the beginning of the year seeing them give talks and really kind of galvanize the student community around an incredibly important cause. They've created a student society called Women Life Freedom Society to give Iranian refugees informal wellbeing support on a regular basis, as well as supporting Iranian students facing hardship. They've also been massive campaigners on the issue and also done a fantastic job of keeping the student body informed of the situation in Iran as it progresses. So could we please welcome to the stage Laya Hushiari and Zorab Rezvani. Don't worry, I'll go find them afterwards. The next highly commended group aim to increase the diversity of students in natural sciences, especially physics. They deliver fun, engaging, and accessible outreach activities, reaching both primary and secondary school pupils, as well as wider community activities through science busking, which sounds really exciting. They are University of Manchester Physics Outreach.
The next highly commended group aims to increase social interactions for adults with additional needs. Every week, the team provide activities encouraging the services users to decide what they would like to do to create a sense of independence and autonomy. So please give it up for People with People Tuesday if they're here today. The next highly commended group targets parents who are asylum seekers and refugees through 4 local partner schools. They provide English language classes in order that parents are able to better support their child's school experience. So please put your hands together for Speak Up.
Great, so the next highly commended group has 2 key aims. They aim to increase access to dentistry by providing insights into life as a dentistry student, and to also reduce the rate of tooth decay amongst young people in Manchester through workshops in schools. They can't be with us today, but could we please congratulate dentists in primary schools? And our final highly commended group, before we move on to our winners, are improving community spaces whilst providing education about growing food and sustainable practices, using their allotments in the local area to grow food. Please, if they're here today, could we welcome to the stage Incredible Edible.
And now on to our winners. In 3rd place, we have a group who helps women who are homeless, hidden homeless, or living on the edge of poverty through access to essential sanitary products. And this project has this year increased its online presence to reduce the stigma around period products and raise awareness of period poverty. So let's hear it for Once a Month. In second place, we're not sure if they're here today, but this is a team of student volunteers who deliver basic life support training for training skills to staff, students, and the wider Manchester community. This year so far, they've trained almost 200 people, so please give it up for Heart Heroes.
Now, last but not least is our winner of this category. The winner of the student groups category is a group of women who are all PhD students. They've founded a national charity to support those affected by womb cancer. They've grown the charity, all acting as trustees, to raise awareness, improve the lives of those living with and affected by womb cancer through support services, and raised funds for much needed research into this little known cancer. Before we invite them onto the stage, let's watch a short film about their work.
Peaches Womb Cancer Trust was set up in 2020. It was the brainchild of Chloe, Eleanor, Helen and Helena, who are all postgraduate students at the University of Manchester doing research on womb cancer. Since its inception, Peaches Womb Cancer Trust has raised lots of money through fundraising activities to support patients and their families by creating online resources, coffee mornings, virtual coffee mornings for patients and their relatives, and also try to build some funds to do some future research projects.
Helen, Helena, Chloe and Eleanor started this charity during a pandemic, which is totally bonkers, and it was always supposed to be or intended to be a local charity for Manchester, but due to the nature of the pandemic, at a time when charitable giving was really, really tough and we were all going through very, very difficult times and challenging times, they set up the charity, and its byproduct is it's now gone into a national charity, so something was intended to be small has gone much bigger.
Womb cancer is the most common gynecological cancer, but unfortunately the most common cancer diagnosis that you've probably never heard of. We found that many of our patients had never heard about womb cancer before they were unfortunately diagnosed with it. So Peaches Womb Cancer Trust was set up to raise awareness about womb cancer, to support patients and their families, and to encourage research into womb cancer.
I think with Peaches Womb Cancer Trust, we're trying to build a real community for those affected by womb cancer. We often hear that people feel isolated and alone. They've never met anybody before with the disease. So with things like the support group, we're trying to bring people together and share experiences and help people feel less alone.
What I hear a lot from the community of those affected by womb cancer is that they feel that they've been scooped up and they've been wrapped up in a blanket, which makes them feel less lonely and less isolated. They know that there is people on the end of either the phone or email that can help them with any question, be it a medical question or whether it's a support question about how they can live after their diagnosis and treatment. And the information that they receive, they feel is really, really trusted, which is where that safety comes from. So with Peaches are establishing themselves as the go-to charity for all things womb cancer, and you won't find a higher qualified team of people who know everything there is to know currently about womb cancer.
So Helena, Helen, Eleanor and Chloe are the backbone of Peaches. We wouldn't be the charity that we are today without their dedication to the cause, really.
They are all busy postgraduate students here at the university. They're all new mums or pregnant with their first child, so they all have been juggling a clinical academic career with starting a new family, and yet they have found space and resource to build Peaches Womb Cancer Trust. It's incredible how much dedication these 4 girls have. I'm really, really proud of them.
Could we please get a big round of applause for Peaches Womb Cancer Trust? Amazing. Thank you very much for having us. We're now going to hand over to Zeb Farouk, alumni and member of the General Assembly for the next awards category. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Sam and Robbie. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well and enjoying your afternoon. My name is Zeb, and I am a member of the General Assembly and alumni. Despite my deceptively young looks, I graduated from the university over 20 years ago. I'm delighted to be with you all this afternoon to present the award for university alumni. Now, it's said that you make a life out of what you get. Sorry, you make a living out of what you get, but you make a life by what you give. Giving back to and caring about our communities is incredibly important, and helping others is a great way to help yourself. From my personal experience, I have benefited from an enriched sense of purpose in life, which positively impacts on my mental health and well-being. Volunteering is hugely rewarding, and it's great to see that you've had a positive impact, no matter how little, and you'll never be able to put a price on that. And we recognize how awards and honors have the power to energize, engage, and activate. They can inspire us to reach greater heights and unlock more potential. It's an honor for me to help shine a light on the many wonderful acts of volunteering, celebrate their achievements, and raise awareness about their causes. In doing so, I have no doubt the awardees' euphoria will be channeled into the greater responsibility to serve and further their volunteering and contribute to making a difference in years to come. This category recognizes the fantastic efforts of our alumni community. We'll start with our commended and then highly commended nominees. Our first commended alumna studied in the School of Environment, Education and Development. As part of the organization Be the Change in Bolton, she helps young people through education revision sessions, as well as providing administrative and volunteer management support to the organization. Please welcome our first nominee, Diana Descendres Khassa. Our second commended alumna completed a Master's in Translation and Interpreting Studies. She has taken her knowledge further by providing support on setting up translation businesses to students, as well as hosting workshops and podcasts on this topic. She can't be with us today, but let's show our appreciation for Dot Roberts. Our next alumna completed a PhD in textiles and is highly commended. She undertakes a range of volunteer roles. These include for guide dogs, raising guide dog puppies, visiting schools to raise awareness, and running fundraisers. As part of a Friends of Worthington Park and combining this role with that of a governor at local primary school, she recently worked with school pupils to create artwork to be used in the park. Let's show our appreciation for Jackie Wilson. Thank you, Jack. Okay, so our third placed alumna undertook a BSc in Mathematics with Business and Management. She uses her experience working at Jaguar Land Rover to support some of our students through career panels, networking events, and conferences. She mentors female apprentices in a male-dominated field, including having founded a Women in AI group. Please put your hands together for Tamanna Haq. Our second-placed alumna undertook a degree in German and linguistics. She's been involved in the university's Alumni Association for 10 years, first as a London network coordinator and then as chair of the Alumni Association. She has helped to design and lead a range of alumni engagement activities, including career hackathons, directly supporting recent graduates as they enter the world of work. Let's congratulate Catherine Leopold. This year's winner in the alumni category completed a Master's in International Development. Her volunteering directly benefits rural communities, especially women and children in her home country of Nigeria, through the social enterprise she founded, empowering them to address the interrelated problems of malnutrition and lack of economic opportunity through environmentally sustainable farms. Let's see a short film about her volunteering.
I have known Rita for over 3 decades. She's been my childhood friend since primary school all the way through secondary and then university. So she grew up in a community of poor people, but however, her father was well-to-do, was a rich farmer actually. And so she had told herself that she would go into farming to help the poor. And that was where her drive started from. And then that has led her to volunteer in communities, communicating with these people, trying to get their lives to better improve their lives.
People, the way agriculture is taught in our part of the world, people see it as a punishment. But she has gone back to let the people know that, look, agriculture is the backbone of the economy.
In 2016, Rita set up Beau Heaven Farms. With Beau Heaven Farms, she is trying to work on the #1 SDG goal, that is Sustainable Development Goal, which is ending hunger. So she has fortified vitamin A cassava crops, fortified vitamin A maize crops, where she produces in the rural areas alongside farming women.
Teaching them how to do planting of cassava, not only the planting, the value chain, processing it into gari and other products, so that the people can sell. I mean, you're adding value to the thing that you're producing. It's not just producing raw cassava, and that adds value. And so by that, the women are able to get more income.
In the community, she has organized several forums. During the World Food Day, she organized a forum where she brought out all the rural women who are rural farmers to introduce them to the right methods of farming, the right products to use, and she empowered them with the right products, the right cassava crops, and the right things to use for farming. And that has enabled these women to empower them even financially, as well as producing foods that are good for their children, their offspring, and everyone around them.
I nominated her for this award because of what I've seen her do. And also being an alumni of Manchester and looking at the work that she has been doing, I feel that she deserves that award.
Obviously, this award is a volunteer award, so she is able to reach out to the unreachable communities. She is assertive, she is pragmatic, she is a go-getter. If she's given anything, she does it well and timely at that. And I think that she is the right person to go in the community and continue with her volunteer works, and this would spur her on to do even more.
The overall winner of our Volunteer of the Year Awards in the Alumni category and recipient of the Social Responsibility Medal can't be with us today, unfortunately, but she is Rita Robert Ottu. We can, however, please welcome her longtime friend, Dr. Unonobong Udoka, onto the stage to collect the award on her behalf. Before we move to our next category, it's with great pleasure for me to introduce our keynote speakers. With others, Choel Cartwright and Daniel Mutahab have founded Ardwick Climate Action and have become a key partner for student volunteering at the university. Could everyone please join me in welcoming Choel and Dan?
We just want to start by thanking the university for having us today. It's really lovely to look across the room and see so many familiar faces that we've got to know over our time working with you. Like many organisations, Ardwick Climate Action excuse me, is reliant on volunteers to operate and would not have the levels of local community... God, sorry, I'm quite nervous. And would not have the level of impact without in the local community without it. We did a rough calculation since our first event in October of last year. We have welcomed hundreds of students at various events totaling over 1,000 hours of people's free time. To put it into context, you could have flown to Australia 40 times. We're honoured by the support. Volunteer involvement is critical to the development of Ardwick's green spaces. Ardwick is one of the most socially economically deprived areas in the country and has seen a reduction of its green spaces of over 65%. As a community-led group, our aim is to preserve, enhance and rewild what areas are remaining. While navigating tests, deadlines, assignments, students have assisted Ardwick Climate Action in planting over 3,000 bulbs, 4,000 native hedges, and have lent a hand in moving tons of soil, to name a few. In all, this has contributed to increased levels of biodiversity in the area, while enhancing community spaces that everyone can enjoy. It's even more impressive when you factor in the weather is not always kind. Okay, go on.
Hi. Basically, we're a very deprived ward. We're very closely, we're just sort of between here and Piccadilly train station is sort of Ardwick, Brunswick. So often, deprived wards face acute challenges in their environment and their enhancement, and surprisingly, this is often from the residents themselves. Community is not always kind and can often present difficulties. We say this as particularly relevant as you come to graduate and explore what it is you have to offer in the world without the buffer of a classroom. You are entering one of the most turbulent times in modern history, compounded by crisis that unfortunately seems abundant. However, it is in this generation sitting in this room that can imply actual meaningful change, policy and breakthroughs that will help remedy problems ranging from economic stability, sustainable environmental practices. Just looking at the award that lady's just won, I mean, that's a perfect example. There are 3 things that can help to successfully steer this course: commitment, kindness and resilience. Commitment to your beliefs and passions to your work is crucial. It means you will operate at the best level you can. Kindness to your peers and community creates the best environment for collaboration, with people more willing and driven to offer you their best. Resilience in the face of adversity will ensure that setbacks are not stops, but an obstacle that you overcome. While failures will happen, successes will offer confidence and the drive to continue. By volunteering, you're already on this path and join a great legacy of people who offered their time to create change in the city of Manchester and further afield. From Emily Pankhurst and the suffragette movements to last year's speakers, which was the mustard tree, combating homelessness in the city. Wherever your volunteering journey takes you, know that it is invaluable to those you are helping. By sacrificing your time, you allow others to flourish. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, we're delighted to be here today. I'm Kirsty Hutchison and I jointly lead, along with my colleague Emma, the volunteering and awards team at the university. And every day we interact with students and we find out about all their volunteering adventures. And every day we as a team feel so proud of the students, the impact that they make on the local community, the regional community and the international community.
Yeah, that's right. And so many of our students that we come into contact with tell us about the value of volunteering to them, whether that be at home or internationally, in terms of their employability, their well-being, or their chance to channel their passions into the local community or international communities. Some students even tell us that it's been life-changing.
Yeah. So our final category today recognises the amazing work of the student volunteers. These awards are given in collaboration with the University of Manchester Students' Union. This field was fantastic. It really was, wasn't it, Emma? And the judging was incredibly difficult. So congratulations to everyone who has been nominated. So first of all, we'll do our commended students and then we'll do our highly commended nominees.
The first of our commended students is from the School of Engineering. She coordinates the student action projects relating to refugees and asylum seekers, supporting fellow volunteers and continually looking at how to develop and improve the project. We're not sure if she's here today, but let's put our hands together for Lauren Perry.
The second commended student is completing an MA in Gender, Sexuality and Cultures. She's undertaken numerous roles, including as an angel in the Gay Village with the LGBT Foundation and raising much needed funds for the George House Trust. Again, we're not sure if she's here today, but it's Amber Williams.
Our third commended student is from the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures. She supports two different student action projects, the Intergenerational Buddy Scheme, which pairs a student with an older person in the community to address isolation, and Film Afternoons, where a range of activities are put on for students and older people from the community to participate in together. Please put your hands together for Rimsha Afzal Koza.
The next commended student is undertaking a PhD in Electrical and Electronic Engineering. As chair of the Power and Energy Student Branch chapter, he has led a number of events on issues such as on sustainable energy and women in engineering. Again, we're not sure if they're here today, but if we can please congratulate Amani Akinpalumi.
We also have several highly commended nominees. Our first highly commended nomination is for a student from the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures. As chair of the Student Action Committee, she ensures the successful running of no less than 18 student action projects which bring the student community and the wider community of Manchester together. Please welcome Matilda Coakley.
Our second highly commended student is undertaking an MEng in Materials Science and Engineering. He is the leader of the Beco Bikes, supporting more students to cycle to reduce their carbon footprint and raising awareness around bike maintenance and cyclist safety. Again, we're not sure if here today, but it's Charlie Major.
Our next highly commended student studies in the Department of Mathematics. She is the founder of the Blue Letters Care Centre for Left Behind Children, which sends letters to vulnerable children in China. Let's put our hands together for Jiayu Yang.
Our next highly commended student is studying children's nursing. She is a heart hero, teaching others the skills to save a life. This student has adapted the group's resources to be able to teach younger children, including most recently a group of 5 to 7-year-olds in South Manchester. It's Caitlin Hunter.
Our next highly commended student studies international fashion marketing. As project leader of the Stockport Refugee Support Group, she ensures a safe and supportive learning environment for refugees and asylum seekers. She can't be with us today, but let's congratulate Mei-Yang Liu.
Our next highly commended student is from the School of Biological Sciences. As chair of the Access All Areas Committee, she actively supports other student leaders to ensure the Access projects run smoothly in order to positively impact on young people. Give it up for Dhruti Dodabalpur.
Our next highly commended student is from the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures. She aims to create a greater sense of belonging to a group of students who often feel marginalised. Through initiatives such as Black Girls Space and events such as Games Nights, it's Esther Akinlosotu. We're not sure if she's here, but we'll give her a big round of applause.
The final highly commended student studies computer science. She has been a regular volunteer for 3 years on the Computer Learning Programme project at Sovereign House in Salford. This is a weekly group for children who have no access to computers at home, with the student supporting the children's development of digital skills. Please welcome Nora Tutu.
And so, on to our final winners. Our third place student is from the School of Social Sciences. This volunteer has multiple roles, with St John's Ambulance as a first aider, as a hospital care volunteer for cancer patients, as a leader on a mental health and wellbeing project for refugee women, and as an English teacher for disadvantaged students from Syria, Palestine, Jordan and Lebanon, to name a few. It's Sarah Saad.
Judging was so difficult this year that the judges chose 2 second-place winners. Our first second-place winner is a student from the School of Engineering. She's founded Code Club, a student-led project which works with local schools to give primary school pupils a working knowledge and basic skill set in coding. This has included developing a full teaching programme. We're not sure if she's here today, but if you can please put your hands together for Ishika Ladia.
Our second place student studies electrical and electronic engineering. For the past 3 years, he's been a scout leader locally, providing weekly activities for around 70 young people. He has taken this further, personally improving all the records and systems, designing coaching for older scouts and representing young leaders on executive committees, as well as now taking on a role nationally. Let's invite him onto the stage. It's Sam Rogers.
The winner of the individual student category is studying biomedical Egyptology. This student advocates for education equality and accessibility. As the founder of the 1/3 project, she's tackling the issues of young people leaving education due to mental health difficulties and lack of support. She campaigns to prevent other young people from dropping out without a support network. In its first year, the project has worked with over 900 people, which is absolutely amazing, helping participants balance their well-being with pursuing their goals. Before we invite her onto the stage, let's see a bit more about her work.
Hannah set up the 1/3 project on the back of her own experience after dropping out of school, after leaving school at an early age, with the sole intention of, trying to support young people across the UK that might have been in the same or have the same experience as her, and try and support them to either get back into education or to try and find what their future might be.
Hannah does a lot of volunteering work, and she recently got some funding from the Commonwealth Games and the Blagrave Trust. So with the Commonwealth Games funding that she got was to create a youth social action event called the Lead the Way Youth Summit, which was where she had young people speakers talk about different topics, so the criminal justice system, the mental health system, the education system, with view to enact meaningful change in the community. And then she also got some funding from the Blagrave Trust to do some filming about the education system and the mental health system together, so kind of education in university, and it was really, really impactful.
When Hannah set up the 1/3 project back in 2021, I'm not quite sure she knew the impacts that it would make for young people across the communities that she was trying to reach.
Literally, she puts her heart and soul into the work that she does. As well as doing her own work, she also supports other young people, other organizations. She's had an impact in the lives of so many young people, university students, even students, young people that are not students. She's literally built up their confidence, their self-esteem in regards to amplifying their voices around mental health and well-being, because mental health is a crucial area which needs to be discussed more and more. And I do believe Hannah is the one that is amplifying this area for the whole world to see that, look, mental health is real, young people are going through it, and she wants to state her case, so to speak. And yeah, she's just very, what's the word? Selfless. Yeah, that is the word that I was looking for. Hannah's a very selfless person, which I love about her.
I've never met a young person with so much confidence and so much drive to make a difference.
She's one of a kind in terms of her passion and her desire to help people.
Very hardworking, very committed, always willing to support others no matter what. And she literally just wants to see the best in everyone. Like, she doesn't see age, she doesn't see race, she doesn't see gender, she just sees you for you.
I'm so thrilled from a personal level that she's been nominated and that she's won, and that she's gonna, you know, with this as her driving force, she's gonna continue to make a difference to young people's lives across the West Midlands and across the UK.
She deserves that acknowledgement. It'll definitely continue to boost up her self-esteem, her motivation, and wanting to strive to be the best in the area of mental health.
So the overall winner of the Volunteer of the Year award in the student category and recipient of the University Medal for Social Responsibility, we're not sure if she's here, but it's Hannah Walton. And so, in her absence, we're going to invite to the stage Robbie and Sam to collect her award on her behalf.
Thank you, everyone. Wow, personally feeling so enthused and inspired by all of those amazing, amazing stories. What a huge accolade to you all, each and every one of you who have been involved in volunteering with the university. You should be immensely proud of the sacrifice, the time, the energy that you've all put into your incredible volunteering work. And we at the university just hope that you can take those experiences forward with you in your careers and your working lives into your future. So huge, huge well done to each and every one of you. To bring us to the end of the awards now, but to finish, we're going to leave you with a short film giving an insight into one of our flagship volunteering projects. So Team Rwanda started in 2020, giving students with a widening participation background the opportunity to volunteer with one of our partners overseas. The successor to a similar project which ran for 5 years in Uganda, the timing of the start of the Team Rwanda meant that for the first 2 years, the roles had to be undertaken remotely. So in the summer of 2022, for the first time, 15 University of Manchester students were able to finally travel to Rwanda for a month and volunteer in person alongside a team of Rwandan volunteers. After the film, could I just say that those who've received a certificate, please come back to the stage for photographs, whilst everybody else, please do feel free to tuck into the lunch that's at the back over there. And I just want to finally conclude with a massive thank you to our wonderful colleagues here at the university, without which this event and all of our volunteering projects would not be what they are today. A huge big thanks and round of applause, please, to our wonderful volunteering team. Thank you everyone for coming today, and we'll conclude today with the Team Rwanda film. Thank you, everyone. So those of you that have won an award, if you can make your way to the stage for photographs, and everyone else, please do feel free to enjoy the lunch. Thank you.
Don't worry about the cable, it's more just...
How far do you want it back, Matt? That way? I don't think it will. If you've